Big O Show. This is the 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 Big O Show. This is
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
There's just one place to celebrate our happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Plus last chance savings on a 2024 RDX. $379 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla, not $24,000, $20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649. or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Hey, Sailor. Good morning, baby girls. Yes, sir. How y'all doing? Y'all feeling good? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great, actually. Feeling very crypto-like, because, boy, we are about to explode. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby, we are ready to rock and roll. Girls, boys, yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, well, the world is good. The world is good. Oh, man, things are turning. Things are turning. And they could be turning for the Dolphins. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. we got a bunch of stuff to talk about today on the show. A lot of stuff that I've been able to kind of try to figure out and check out with the Dolphins, and we'll get into a lot of stuff that you will enjoy, especially if you're a Dolphins fan. If you're a crypto person, oh man, this is it right here, man. This is what we've been waiting for the last. Well, some of us have been at it for 4.5 years, but those of you that have been at it for 4.5 or 3 or 2 or 1 or 9 months or whatever, you've been waiting. Here it is, man. We are about to get the ultimate boom that we've been waiting for a while now. And so after Bitcoin bottomed out around 49, it has steadily been going up and up and up and up. And so right now it is in the 63.7 range. It broke 64 yesterday and kind of stood on over 64, which is really, really good. So it looks like we are about to get our pump, and October should be beautiful. Yes, sir. There it is, our little Bitcoin and crypto report from R&M Contractors. And thanks to Ray and Mike for their support of the show, as always. So we appreciate them. But yeah, that was good. Maybe I should. Let's do our little Bitcoin and crypto report here. Thanks to the people at R&M Contractors, which, by the way, last night, SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce said they're allowing regulated financial institutions to bypass the SEC and dirty-ass Gary Gensler, whose strings are pulled by stinking Biden. Anyway, it will allow them to custody Bitcoin and crypto. That is, okay, look, that's not the way I would do it, but I think this is important because the average person, it takes a lot of guts, a lot of balls to go buy crypto and get a cold storage wallet and store it. Those of us that do it, we think it's no big deal. But for the average person, that's a huge deal. For them to understand crypto and then to try to buy Bitcoin and then move it, and all, it is like it's another language. It's something that they don't even want to deal with. Everybody's lazy. We're all used to the bank holding our money. So this is really good now that the banks are going to be able to bypass the SEC. You know how many banks wanted crypto? I mean, you got to help the banks out in this way. And so, again, I wouldn't do it this way, but it will help a lot of people get into it if at least they can start with a bank holding their crypto, and that way they can buy it right off the app and store it right in their account and all that kind of stuff. So that's good because it could get more people involved, and more of you out there that are nervous, you can protect yourselves and at least have, Bitcoin, and you won't be left behind when this thing is exploding. So that has led to BNY, the largest U.S. custodian bank, to launch Bitcoin ETF custody. So that's pretty cool. And right now, folks, we are in day number 158 after the halving. Historically, Bitcoin has broken out from its accumulation range, which is where we've been here for like the last 6 months. It usually breaks out between 154 and 161 days. That's what happened back in 2016 and 2020. And we are now in 2024, and we are in day 158. So usually between 154 and 161 after the halving is when we start the real explosive moves. So here we go. It is breakout time. Then the other thing that we have also going on, China is going to stimulate the economy with a 50% cut, a 50 basis point cut, a half a point cut, in other words. So that is more liquidity into the market. See, the thing about Bitcoin and crypto is that it's not a United States thing. It's not a UK thing. It's not a France thing. It's not a Russia thing. It's not a China thing. It's a world thing. You know what I'm saying? So China, by doing that, they are also now, cutting rates, and that means they're going to start printing money, and there's going to be an infusion of cash, and central banks all over the world are cutting rates, and so is the United States, and they'll be cutting more next month. So all of this is positive for investments, for risk assets, and of course, stocks and real estate and gold and Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff. Bitwise chief investment officer says the most powerful people in finance are allocating to crypto. Bitwise, they only manage 4.5 billion. So, they might know something. And Citi says that the feds will cut another half a point, another 0.50 cut in November. So that is also good. Oh, yes. Investors, by the way, which this is a very interesting note that I saw. The only thing is I'm going to add something to it. It says investors will cling to the narrative that rate cuts are the magic bullet, which rate cuts are the magic bullet to infusion of liquidity. There's no doubt. But they aren't. Sure, don't resist when policymakers flood the market with liquidity, but let's be clear, the real issues won't be solved by rate cuts and quantitative easing. What the feds are doing by raising the rates and then lowering the rates and all that kind of stuff, and then printing the money, what they're actually doing is devaluing the dollar in the process. So while they flood, when Trump and Biden, the last two presidents, flood the streets with $16 trillion, okay, it infuses the economy. But at the same time, it also devalues your dollar because you just have the last two presidents have thrown $16 trillion extra into our economy. So there's just more money out there, so it's worth less. That's where your inflation really comes from. That's the part that people, they get lost in pointing fingers at red and blue. Red and blue contribute to both of it. Nobody does more than the other. They both are a disaster, but, whatever. You guys can stay being, cheerleaders if you want and go ahead and look stupid, by the way, in the process. By the way, I don't know what you've purchased, but BlackRock has purchased $22.49 billion worth of Bitcoin since January. What do you plan on doing? The richest and smartest and most powerful people are loading up with Bitcoin. What are you doing? Let's see what else. By the way, looking ahead, we have the next Fed meeting and the 2024 presidential election in the same week. Historically speaking, volatility rises 25% from July to November in an election year. Combine this with another big Fed decision, and there's a bunch of volatility coming. So there you go. Expect it, because it's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to happen. That is your R&M Contractors Bitcoin and crypto report. Call Ray and Mike. Complete remodel, kitchen upgrade and appliances, waterproofing on the terrace, balcony, flood test report, impact windows, door installations, bathroom upgrade, floor restoration, maintenance, stucco repairs, interior and exterior paint, drywall, level 5 finish. I'm telling you, man, call R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall. They can take your home and your business to the next level. Dade, Broward, Palm Beach counties, they will take care of you in South Florida, and also condos too. So just in case, if you live in a condo, you can also call R&M Contractors. And of course, we thank them for sponsoring our Bitcoin and crypto report. Let's see, what do we have here? By the way, remember, you can make a donation to the show. You help us survive that way. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Hateful Steve, always supporting the show. He says, not sure if you have yet, But can you address this theory by Dave Hyde that maybe McDaniel didn't get a quality backup because Tua was having contract negotiation troubles and he didn't want to offend Tua by bringing in even a perceived potential challenger? Okay, all I can tell you from what I know is that is categorically wrong. Okay? That I could tell you that that's categorically wrong. It has nothing to do with any of that. That is just a writer guessing, and I love Dave Hyde to death. Okay? But he couldn't be more off on that. All right? That's the only thing what I know and I can elaborate on, unfortunately. Okay? All I can tell you is that's way off. Way off. All right? That's all I can say. Way off. It's not even close to that. If I can only tell the interesting stories sometimes. Anyway, what else do we have going on? Oh, yes, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Ocala Joe, thank you, sir, for the love on Cash App this morning. Appreciate it. So Ocala Joe, very kind. He was we're actually headed up to St. Pete today to go to Janice Live to go see the Interrupters, my wife and I. She was taking off half a day. I was going to end the show at noon. We're going to take off to Tampa, go to Burns Steakhouse, have my Chateaubriand and my escargot, my normal meal, and my meal that I always have had when I go to Burns Steakhouse. That's my favorite. I have, obviously, comes with the salad, and then I get my escargot, which is just so delicious, and then I have my Chateaubriand, and I'm done. I mean, I could go up to the dessert room, but I never really have space for the dessert room. Really, I mean, rarely. I've gone up there. Most of the time that I've gone up to the dessert room, I've gone to hang out with everybody else that's having dessert. Pretty much, I think I've had dessert once because I never really have space. I'm not really while I'm a fat guy, I'm not really like a big eater. You know, it's strange. Ask Sean. I don't eat a lot in a sitting. I just don't. That's not who I am, but I'll pick out through the day, and that's obviously how I've become a big dude. So yeah, so unfortunately, no Burns for me tonight, this afternoon, and no Interrupters, which I'm disappointed. Now I'm more disappointed that Helene is coming our way, and obviously for our friends in the Panhandle and Ocala Joe. Be careful, you and Lourdes out there. I know that you guys are going to have to deal with the storm out there. So thank you, sir, for your support. As always, Ocala Joe, we will meet again. And so hopefully we'll have some fun. But thank you out there. However it is, don't forget, please, to smash the hell out of the like button. We got 47 likes, and there's 170 people already watching. So 3x already. Come on, man. Let's go. Please hit that like button. Get the algorithms out there. Algorithms. All right. Oh, man. Got a ton of stuff to talk about today. We really do. And juicy stuff, too. Because stuff that, like, made me start thinking about what the Dolphins are going to do on Monday, because it's kind of a challenge, especially for the head coach. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Why don't we? That's what we need to do right now. And let's see where it's at here. Trying to find something here a second before I start. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. The great Alan Blanco, custom printing and embroidery. If your company or business needs it, school, whatever it is, fantasy league, reach out to Alan Blanco. That's his personal cell right there, 786-618-1443. Anywhere in the country you can do this stuff because you can do it by email and Zoom, and they can ship it out to you right away. So please call 3A Graphics and support the great people that support us. WNBA playoffs last night, the Liberty over the Dream, 91-82. Sabrina Nescu with 36 points, 5 of 11 shooting from three-point range. And the Aces over the Storm, 83-76. They also win their series 2-0. Both move on. Asia Wilson with 24 points, 13 rebounds, and 2 blocks. And Kelsey Plum, my favorite player, 29 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. So there you go with the WNBA playoffs. What else do we have? And also Dolphins taking on the Titans, and that'll be on Monday night. And believe it or not, the Dolphins are favored by 1. The over and under is 36.5. Titans are minus 108 on the money line, and the Dolphins are minus 112 on the money line. All right. There you go. And by the way, also in MLS action, Inter Miami will be taking on Charlotte. And that'll be in a couple days. That'll be in 3 days on Saturday. And right now on the money line, Inter Miami is minus 215 and Charlotte is plus 425. The draw is plus 360. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Yuri Cristofanti, thank you for the love on Venmo, sir. Says, excellent job by you every day, Big O. Very nice of you, Yuri. That is absolutely exceptional. Appreciate you. Sean and I appreciate you immensely for supporting the program. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And, of course, you can always make a Bitcoin donation. By the way, how many of you hung in there with Sailor? Because Sailor's up 70%. It went up to like 148%, yesterday at one point. Sailor was down at under a penny, 99 tenths of a penny. Okay, 99,000th of a penny, in other words. So just a tad under a penny. It's now approaching 3 cents. So if you bought it at its bottom, you're almost about to triple the bottom stuff that you know. If those of you that hung in there with Sailor all the way through, all the way to the bottom, and this is nothing new, just in case some of you are new, because I checked in with Frankie Fresco, because I know Frankie was on Hey Thaler, and he was on the Hey Thaler bandwagon with me before, but I wonder if he got yellow and, se amarillo, as we say in Spanish, and he choked. And he said, oh, my God, it's here. I gotta sell. So I didn't sell. I bought more. I bought more at its bottom. And I know it's so tough to do that, man. It is so tough to do that. Van Eck Asset Manager, $100 billion asset manager Van Eck says Solana has the potential to reach 50% of Ethereum's market cap. Hope you got your Solana. Hope you got your Ethereum. Hope you got your Bitcoin. By the way, the other one that started popping was Star Atlas. Star Atlas is another one of those long plays that we've given you some long plays that we've hit on them. That's the thing. Like we give you some that and Star Atlas went all the way down as low as 11,000th of a penny, 13,000th of a penny, and it's at 26 right now. So it was hanging around the I want to say the 15 area about a week ago. Let me see. Yeah, 16. Let me see. Wait a minute. About 16 on September 5th. on the 16,000th of an area. Now it's at 26. So that's quite a gain right there. But and remember, this thing was at 25 cents. So it hasn't even, it's at a quarter of a penny right now. And it's been at 25 cents. So I expect it to grow, but that's just me. I'm not a financial advisor by any stretch. So, I'm not a betting expert, even though we have you winning in 4 straight weeks, going for 5 straight this week. But we're not betting experts. We're not crypto experts. We're not investment experts. We don't know any of that stuff. Okay. We're just a big mouth sports guy. That's all it is. Okay. It's all we do here. What else is climbing? So Star Atlas is up nearly 14% right now. This is good. This is good. This is good. Hedera up 5%. That's just starting. I'm expecting Hedera to be a monster. Anyway, so there you go. That's a little crypto talk for you guys. And for those of you that are riding the wave with the rest of us, bless you and good luck to you out there. Let's see. What do we have? God's Child. Thank you for the love on the super chat. Big O, you taught me more about financials and crypto than my come mierda dad that I never met. Hope my kids benefit from it. Thank you. Go Fins, go Canes. Thank you, my man. I appreciate you immensely. We try, my man. We try. Not sure Skyler sucks as much as anyone will struggle with the super complex offense in Seattle and that noise in our O-line. He didn't look good, but didn't throw any picks either. I mostly blame McD. It's an interesting dynamic that's going on with the Dolphins, because the lack of synergy is also the lack of practice, the lack of continuity. And so when you don't have the same quarterback, you don't have continuity. When you have receivers coming in and out and pulling themselves out like Tyreek and Waddle do, which is something they need to look at, and they need to know who's out there on the field, because when you call a play and it's Robbie Chosen and clearly he ran the wrong route, they cut his ass. So you've got to make sure you have the right people in the play. You've got to make sure that people are playing and that they have chemistry. And so when Javon Holland doesn't practice much and Poyer doesn't practice practically at all, comes back in the last week and a half, really, and what's it called? Ramsey. Also, then you have the breakdowns in the secondary. That's those breakdowns in the secondary and all that. That's from a lack of playing time, no chemistry. You haven't played with each other. All that stuff needs to be synced in. Everything. You saw the defense get better in the second half against Seattle. Yeah, they made the mistake. I get it, but they got better. And so continuity is so important. People will say, well, you got to play Patrick Paul. No, you got to play Kendall Lamb. Continuity. Right? He's the guy that's played left tackle when Teron Armstead is out. Now, if you're out of the playoff race, then you start playing Patrick Paul. But when you're trying to win games, you have to play the established guy that knows the offense. Teron Armstead said it took him a year to learn this offense. So where do you think Patrick Paul is learning this offense? If it took Teron Armstead a year to be comfortable in it. That's Teron Armstead. So continuity is so important everywhere. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You got to play the receivers that are the ones that have got to get it done for you. Your secondary has got to be playing together. If they don't practice together and play together, they cannot be sharp. And that's what you've seen some of, because Poyer hasn't practiced much, so he hasn't been sharp. Holland hasn't practiced as much, and then Ramsey hasn't practiced at all. So all of this is going to take some time, and it sucks because then the Tua injury happens, and that throws everything off kilter. You're lucky that when Armstead goes down, you have the continuity of Kendall Lamb, and that's why Kendall Lamb played well and you didn't miss a beat. Overall, that was not one of your issues. You know what I'm saying? So continuity is very important right now, and they've got to figure out a way to, okay, it cannot be Hill one play and then Smythe and then Jonnu, and Jonnu also doesn't have a lot of continuity with the offense and the quarterback, and then the backup quarterbacks on top of all of that. Not just your starter, but the backups. Continuity. All of these things are affecting the Dolphins in the first couple of weeks, and then you throw in the Tua injury, and holy shit, this becomes a just, and we're all walking on the ledge, and we're all, but we all got to take a couple steps back. And that's why if you're just not going to tank it and you're going to play this game, then you got to try to win here, right? And so you got to try to develop as much continuity as possible, as soon as possible. And that's getting these guys on the field and getting them playing time. And hopefully with that playing time, everybody starts to get better. Next couple of weeks, you got winnable games. But can Mike McDaniel coach you out of those games? We're going to find out. We're going to find out. You're going to need to make sure you have Waddle and Tyreek on the field as much as possible and in key moments. It cannot be backups. And you can't be putting Durham Smythe in those situations because it's not fair to Durham Smythe because he's not a good receiver. So when he drops that ball in the end zone, that's your fault. You signed Jonnu Smith for a reason. Use him, dude. Use him. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand it. So continuity is going to be very, very important for Miami. And now the question is in the continuity department. Now let's talk when we talk about the quarterback part and the continuity of the quarterback. What do you do at quarterback now? What do you do? I would start Tim Boyle. I would start Tim Boyle because he's been here longer. Yeah, and he probably is the better passer. Huntley's a better athlete, has a better arm because he can sling it. His arm's not a problem for him. It's accuracy. It's playing in this offense. But I was thinking about this. And this is a hell of a challenge for Mike McDaniel because, first of all, he hasn't proven to me that he can coach in adversity. And let me tell you something ahead of time before it happens. Okay? Don't you dare pick on Tim Boyle or Snoop Huntley. Both guys are at a disadvantage because of Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel puts Tua Tagovailoa constantly in disadvantages. Tua will put himself in a disadvantage too. I've got to be fair also because he'll do stupid things that puts his body at risk, and I don't understand why. I really don't understand why. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation that I wish I could have with Tua face-to-face. And ask him, what the fuck are you doing, bro? But anyway, that's a whole other ball game. I'm sure I'll never have that conversation with him. Anyway, I'm thinking about this. I was going through this last night, and I would start Tim Boyle, no doubt about it, between the two guys. But there's a problem. They run an RPO type offense. Tim Boyle is a pure drop back passer. I was talking to some guy from the Lions yesterday. I know a couple of scouts at the Lions. And one of the guys was telling me that Boyle doesn't do RPOs. He is straight drop back. So he's not really going to be able to run some of the things Mike may want to do. Some of the things that's in that offense from all the way back to San Fran. And, they did draft Trey Lance, right? So you wanted an active guy, right? You don't necessarily run RPOs with Purdy, but you know what I'm saying? But you could with Trey Lance, right? You can with Jordan Love, right? And there's Matt LeFleur, same tree, right? So you have some of these elements, because I was talking with the scout yesterday about this. And so he kind of enlightened me on this sense that it would be more of a challenge for McDaniel to then coach up a pure drop back offense. But if you have the RPO element to it, that's where you start Snoop Huntley. So Snoop's been here a couple of weeks. They probably can create certain packages for him. He can't run this offense. He's not a drop back passer. See, these two guys are completely different. This is like effed up. Like, it's really effed up because you really can't get a quarterback. You're not going to find another guy like Tua out in the street or something like that. But even to get close to it, it's almost impossible. It's somebody else that's already like starting somewhere else that you might be able to do that kind of stuff. But to find it on the street, it's hard. So you kind of have two guys that are on different levels, whereas Boyle's going to be the better pocket passer, but Snoop is going to be the better athlete, right? And he can also make throws with his arm that definitely Boyle cannot make. So how do you coach this up? And I think both guys are going to be at a major disadvantage. So if they play terrible, okay, but I kind of get the feeling that maybe it's more Snoop than it is Tim, because then you can add the RPO element to it. So you can add his legs to it. So if Tim Boyle is limited in just passing and he's not a great passer, ugly, but I know he had that one pass to Jonnu that was nice. Every dog has his day. But if he doesn't pass well, where do you go from there? And now you're screwed, and you made the whole game plan around him, and you practiced all week, and then now you got to go to Snoop with limited practice time. So Tim Boyle already knows what he knows. So you're better off trying to lean more to Snoop and use the RPO element, because if Snoop sucks passing, which that could be the case, at least you can use his legs. And if things do break down because you can't make us, remember, are we going to expect Tim Boyle to read and react in 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds like Tua does? Probably not. Are you going to expect Snoop Huntley to react in 2.5 seconds? Hell no! Are you following me on this? You have to really understand everything going on and the skill sets of each guy. So this creates like a problem for the coach. That's why I told you that maybe Snoop comes in more like a wildcat guy. But in this case, if you want to kind of add the RPO element, then you bring in Snoop Huntley. So if you start Snoop Huntley, which could be the case, now at least you can create packages and use his legs. But do not freak out if he's not an accurate passer, a timely passer. I haven't seen enough of Huntley, but what I saw from the Ravens, I mean, there's a reason why the guy was in the practice squad. Okay, whatever. I know he's a local kid. I don't know him from Adam. He's probably a nice kid. I have no idea. But from what I've seen, he can't play in this offense. He's not accurate enough. He's not the kind of passer in this offense. And he's never going to be anything like Tua. You can forget about that shit. But I would start Tim Boyle.
But the problem is we have a very limited head coach. And as the scout pointed out to me, hey, the other guy knows the RPO stuff, and that's kind of what we see there in Detroit here in our division and what they were going to try to do in San Francisco. So is that maybe more? And I was like, yeah, maybe that could be the case. Just throwing it out there. I personally would start Boyle, but I could see where Snoop Huntley becomes the guy, the experiment this week, because you could still go back to Boyle. But the other way around doesn't help, because then Snoop doesn't have practice, doesn't have playing time. So it puts him behind the 8 ball if you need him in game day on Monday. You understand what I'm saying? Plus, you have the Monday, so you have an extra day and everything to get him acclimated and create packages for him, because Snoop Huntley will not know he can't know the offense, dude. He's only been here a couple of weeks, and he can't play in this offense. So they'll have certain packages that they're going to run high. They'll cut half the field for him, give him high-low options, those kind of things. It's kind of what they'll do. They're not going to give him the whole field so you can start scanning and all that kind of shit. Are you crazy, dude? They're not going to do that. That's not going to happen. Okay, so to me, if you start Snoop, which seems logical when I explain it to you the way I explained it to you and give you like substance behind it, not just throw it out there and say, oh well, I think Tim Boyle's going to start. Oh, I think Huntley's going to start. Well, I give you the reasons why you start one or start the other, and then how it affects what you're doing all over the league, because I have to go by what this tree does everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? Frankie Fresco, thank you for the love in the super chat. The only thing Huntley can do better than Boyle is he has an arm, so he could just throw the ball downfield and maybe something hit, like a better Teddy Bridgewater version, and we never sell Sailor. There you go. Frankie Fresco stood strong on Hey Sailor. There was another guy on Twitter that follows me, and he let me see if I can see his Mad Doggo. I have no idea if he's even watching the show or something, because I don't even know what his name is. But he was one that said, I thought about selling it, but I hung in there, and I'm glad I did. Thank you, this and that. Brooklyn Rob, it sounded like you started getting a Sailor late. I don't know if you're watching or anything, but you should have gotten in early. I've been talking about Sailor for a while, man. So, yeah. Good stuff by you, Frankie. You got guts. You got guts. It's this thing isn't for the weak. If you're weak and you're soft, there's no way you're going to hold, because you'll panic and you'll sell. Looks like Bitcoin now is turning back up to go over 64. It's at 63,811. So looks like it wants to make a move up. Let's see. Odell Beckham Jr. is getting accused of abusing Justin Bieber. I don't know, bro. All that Diddy thing. Why don't you all wait till like the real, like the feds come out with the real video and all that kind of stuff, instead of talking about all kinds of silly shit? You have to use Huntley in a Taysom Hill type of role. That's what I thought, that he would be like a wildcat guy too, but I can see where he could start this week. I have to think about that, because the Detroit guy told me this, and he opened up my eyes on that, and he told me Boyle only is a pocket passer, not an RPO guy. And I'm like, oh shit, that's right. So, and if you want a little more variety in your offense, this is the week to give Huntley an extra day of practice. You could still use Boyle. He'll be active. But if you don't give Huntley the practice time, you can't go to Huntley on Monday night. Makes sense. Makes sense. You know, I just, look, man, I'm just trying to think of what the hell, you know, what could be happening behind the scenes or how you would attack this. You know, but if you had Spoelstra coaching, then I'm starting Tim Boyle. But I have a bad game day coach starting. A horrible game day coach starting. Until proven otherwise, I have a horrible game day coach that doesn't know how to elevate players. So he needs as much athletes as possible to save his ass. That's all. It's got to be Holland punching a ball out. It's got to be Jalen Ramsey running clear across the other side of the field to stop a running play. It's got to be something to save his ass. But it's not because he's going to coach the hell out of it. And so that's why I'm thinking Snoop Huntley might be the option this week, because it would be a disservice to the kid to go to him on Monday when you didn't use him in practice. So, and then Boyle's already been used. So, okay, I need maybe he's struggling. Huntley's struggling with certain passing. I can bring Boyle in for a situation or two, but keep using Huntley for arm and legs. I can't use Boyle's legs. I'm limited. My offense is limited. Let me add the legs to the offense. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. So that's why I bring it up, because I want you guys to think. That's what we do on this show. We make you think, and we give you the options. We don't just throw shit out there. Anthony Kyle Campos, Tua, please don't choose Leon Medical. Well, what's wrong with Leon Medical? I haven't been, have you guys heard anything bad about Leon Medical? I haven't heard anything bad about Leon Medical. Why do you do that, bro? Why'd you picking on Leon Medical? You're treating that like it's Pan American Hospital or something on Northwest 7th Street. Let's see. Hypocrites on this chat. Y'all wanted to pay Kalua Egalevoa, and now you're all screaming for Cam Ward. Joke. Well, there's Tua's coming back, bro. He'll be back. Clearly, he's coming back. He was in Seattle, man. He's fine. He's recovered quickly. The question is, will he stop being stupid out there on the field? Is the question. That's we need to know, will Tua stop taking the stupid pill with his body? That's the only thing. That's the one thing left in his game to take out. The stupid pill. Take the stupid pill out, and Tua, you will end up in the Hall of Fame, dude. And guess what? You might win a title for the Dolphins. Now, you keep playing hero ball, and your career is over, and the Dolphins will be looking. It'll take them another 25 years to find another quarterback. So, Big O, are you absolutely sure Huntley can't save the Dolphins? Oh, no, Huntley can't save the season because Mike McDaniel can't save your season, dude. Tua saves your season, not Mike McDaniel. I think we're done with that, right? We're done with that shit, right? Mike McDaniel is no genius. That's a gimme right there. If Mike McDaniel was a genius, your team would have been better prepared this week. But he's no genius because he doesn't know how to really. That's why I'm telling you, on post game, don't expect me to be ripping Snoop Huntley or Tim Boyle if they play bad. Do not expect me to be ripping them. I am not going to rip them. They're at a disadvantage. They don't have a good coach. I'm sorry. I watched it this week with Skyler. He had 2+ years to prepare Skyler for this moment. He had, listen to me, 2+ years to prepare Skyler for this moment. Am I supposed to think he'll have Tim Boyle prepared in just a couple of weeks? Or Snoop Huntley? Come on, man. How unfair are we going to be? How ignorant are we going to be? How cruel are we going to be? Understand that. Mike McDaniel could not prepare Skylar Thompson in 2+ years for that moment. I'm expecting him to have Snoop Huntley prepared in just a couple of weeks? Or Tim Boyle? No. No. So make sure if they lose on Monday and it happens to be that Snoop played bad or that Tim Boyle played bad, don't blame them. You blame Mike McDaniel. Okay? I'm just telling you. That's who you blame. No one else. You blame Mike McDaniel. Because I saw what he did with Skylar Thompson. I saw him try to sell me Skylar Thompson for the last couple of years. I saw him cut Mike White. And I'm not necessarily a Mike White fan. Nice guy and all that, but he's a Jag. But he's a better Jag than the other guy. So you cut him for him. And then you played him. And he was a deer in headlights and wasn't even ready. So is it really fair for any of us to expect Tim Boyle or Snoop Huntley to go out there and be a star or even lead the team or carry the team or even do their job with that guy as coach? Place is too unorganized. You got receivers taking themselves out like it's going out of style. And you know, it's the screwed up part. It's not like they rest more than others or anything like that. Everybody rests. Everybody gets reps, but it's just the timing of it. So you got to do better. It's too unorganized. So unorganized that if you think that of Snoop or Tim Boyle, that's just wrong, dude. Anyway, buddy, Huntley is way better and should have started against Seattle. You just got here, dude. I just kind of explained what was going on, and if you really, I get it. In this world, you tell people the facts or you give them common sense, and the level of ignorance in this world, and I see it in all kinds of things. So, I don't expect everybody to respond to common sense, but, whatever. Let's see. I would blame both Skylar and McDaniel. Both Skylar has played more and confident against the Jets and the Bills previous years. That Bills game was all right, but it wasn't anything great either, bro. He had a couple passes, but let's not make it sound like he was playing great or anything like that. But I'm blaming McDaniel because you should have kept Mike White over Skylar. I have not seen the Dolphins so unprepared as they were this past Sunday. If not for the defense, it would have been a lot worse. That's right, Lenny. God's Child says Mike McDaniel can't get all the blame. Chris Greer is on the hot seat if this season gets worse. Well, everybody knows, dude. If McDaniel fails, it's going to fall on the front office. I get it. And as much as I love the three guys in the front office, and I think they can do it, I believe if you had a better coach, you'd be 2-1, 3-0. But that's just me. Could not agree with you more with Skylar Thompson and McDaniel's decision on backup QBs. Yeah, I got to blame it on him. And I know that they tried to get backup quarterbacks for a fact. Dolphins tried. They tried to add something, but it was a hurdle. That's all I can tell you. It was a hurdle. But they were trying to add a backup quarterback. It wasn't don't think that they just settled to come back with the same two dudes. Okay? That's all I can say. You know? Eddie Lepp says, we have the best coach ever. Can't get one of the best QBs ever, but have no defense or running game. Shula retires. We finally get a defense and a running game, but Marino's past his prime and retires. I know, we have no luck. Everything is always, our timing is always off. How the hell do you believe in our front office? It's the only common denominator. I get that. I understand that. I think it's the coach. I think that the front office has screwed up with the coach. And I know that could be a detriment for them. I understand that. But I like the talent overall on this team. And I think if you had a better coach, you'd have better results. I'm really down on McDaniel. I was down on McDaniel last year, guys. This is nothing new. I told you guys that this would be the year that puts him on the hot seat. Did I not tell you that? I told you he either crosses that threshold or he is on the hot seat the following year. I told you that. I already went into this season, okay? While I love the talent overall, I did not trust the head coach. And I pointed out those of you that really listen to the show every day and you listen to the show, not just a segment here or a segment, you don't catch everything. You don't catch all the nuggets. You don't catch all the insight. You don't catch all the talk. You don't get all the context of everything. That's just the way it is. Those of you that are hardcore, like Pipe Man Slim, met him and his lovely family, by the way, over the weekend in Seattle. That man knows everything about what goes on in this show. All the stuff. Because he listens, actually. Not to a segment here, a segment. He listens to the show. So he gets everything. He ends up getting all the nuggets, all the insight, all the stuff we talk about, everything. Not just the segments that Sean puts out. You know? Hateful Steve is in the house again. Oh, play this out for me. Tua comes back and we finish out the season out of the playoffs. Then let's say Ross fires McDaniel. Can the Dolphins get a top-tier coach with all the candidates knowing they're locked in using Tua and having cap issues? Well, first of all, see, the problem with the Tua situation is, can Tua play like last year? Then it's not an issue. Tua wants to go back to playing stupid, then it becomes an issue. So will he learn? I don't know. And that's the part, like, I know we can't trust him anymore. Unfortunately, you cannot trust Tua anymore. That's the sad part. But he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. There are very few passers better than Tua Tagovailoa. Now, is he still got some issues here that he's got to figure out? Yeah. Yeah, he's got to figure out he's not a football player. He's got to figure out to take care of the football. And, you know, there are moments to take a sack and not try to throw a crazy-ass pass out of bounds. They're running into defenders. These are the things he has to get the hell out of his system. So if you can get that out of the system, then you're very attractive. If you can't, then yeah, you're right. It becomes a problem. It becomes a problem for the front office. It becomes a problem finding a head coach. It just, you don't get the top tier anything because of the problems. So yeah, it's an issue, dude. It becomes an issue. Yes. Yes. And thank you, Steve. As always, appreciate it. What else do we have? Yes, Skylar is terrible, Gary. Greer is essentially picking our players out of the bargain bin and have dropped because of other teams didn't want the injury risk. Well, I don't know if it's exactly that. but they had to pay a lot of other people. So that kind of limits you. Remember, once you start paying people, you have to cut corners in other places, whether you like it or not. Big O, what do you think would happen for Ross to clean house? Oh, it would have to be an absolute, shit show. That's it. So let's just hope that in a couple weeks Tua comes back and they can get going. But man, they've got to find a way to win at least 1 or 2 games, because if Tua comes back at 1-5, you've got to be near perfect. Because you've got, 11 games left. And you're going to need to go like 9-2. That's brutal, dude. Brutal. It'll be fun if you can do it, but it'll be brutal. That's why this whole Snoop Huntley, Tim Boyle thing is so uncomfortable, because I don't trust the coach. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back for hour number 2. We'll get into a couple of other things that I want to talk about Dolphins-wise on the show. Sean Stanley, the great Sean Stanley, driving the program. Hour number 2 is next.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
There's just one place to celebrate our happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Plus last chance savings on a 2024 RDX. $379 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla, not $24,000, $20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
So here's the putting green. See? There you go. Got 2 flags. One is over there where Cutter's Edge Pro. It's not coming out now. Come on. Come on, wind. Give me a little wind. No, unfortunately. But there you go. And this one says Big O here. There you go. So there's my putting green. It's about, I would say about 25 feet, something like that. I get to practice, have a little fun. See? And then, of course, we got, the bunkers. Got to have the bunkers, man. Got all kinds of bunkers there. You know what I'm saying? So that's a taste of our backyard. There's Maiden right there. Maiden. Bono, how you doing, Bono? Bono. He's a Carolina dog, by the way. These dogs are amazing. Their temperaments are awesome. But there is the Sylvester Palm, which is just beautiful. All right, call my guys, Will and Mike at Cutter's Edge Pro. They will take care of you. Dogs are not included, okay? Can't include the dogs. Those are mine. But the exceptional work, oh, baby. Oh, baby. Yes. Make your home an oasis. CuttersEdgePro.com. Go to their Instagram page, by the way, so you can see a lot of the before and after work that they do. And it is exceptional, baby. This thing's been on here for about 9 months. No grass growing through it or anything like that. Right, Bono? Huh? Bono!
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
So just over 24 hours ago, Sailor was under a penny and 9/10 of a penny. It's now at 3.1 pennies. Woo! 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 Man. Hey, Sailor. Yeah. He's riding it. Riding it, baby. Gold, by the way, hits a record 2,670. Risk assets are climbing, ladies and gentlemen. Risk assets are climbing. I told you Bitcoin was climbing. Now 63,931. So about to hit that 64,000 mark again. And that's kind of been the threshold that's kind of been holding them here pretty much is at 64. And it crossed it yesterday and it kind of hung out over 64 a little bit. Let's see what happens today, because we are on the brink. And this has been a positive September, which normally it's kind of a negative September in Bitcoin. We're in the positive this time around. So don't be a hero. Don't be a fool with your life. That's right. That's it. Way to go, EJ Barro. Sing a little Paper Lace. That's right. Let's see. Tua was a Finn on the south side of Miami Gardens. I'm trying to think of let me get the words so I can lend, because I know the words, but let's see. There we go. All right. Tua was a Finn on the south side of Miami Gardens. Back in the good old days, back in the bad old days, in the heat of the Florida night, in the land of the crypto bill. When the town of the Finns died, and they still talk about it. When a man named Tua tried to make that team his own, and he called, I don't know, that's it. It's too much. I would have to write it and, kind of reshape, but I could do it if I wanted to. Could do it. I was trying to freestyle it, but it's just too much at this point. It's too much. Wish we would have signed a quality backup that would have been putting us in a little slightly smidgen better place. At least look better on the field. Of course, same record. McD is still coaching and needs to. Exactly. Now, all I can tell you, Giovanni, is that there wasn't a lack of effort to get a backup quarterback. That's all I can tell you. Okay? That's all I can tell you from shit that the rumblings that are out there. They were trying to get a backup quarterback better than the guys they had. Okay? All right? That's all I can tell you. But they tried. It's not like, you guys think that they don't try for certain positions, but they tried. They tried a tight end the last couple of years. Well, the first year they tried because they kept Gesicki, but they also tried because, they were from what I heard, the Laporta guy was their guy. That's the guy they wanted in the draft badly, but then Detroit took him earlier. So they got screwed. They go after positions. They'll go after a running back, but they're just not going to pay a ton of money, but they'll go after a running back. So, yeah, they wanted another quarterback, and they tried to get better quarterbacks, but they had issues with it. That's all. That's the only, I cannot elaborate anymore, but they try to improve in the areas that you think, oh, they need a tight end. They're trying, bro. Oh, they need a running back. They're trying. Oh, they need a backup quarterback. They're trying. Oh, they need a tackle, a guard. They're trying. It's just, you think they're not, but behind the scenes, there's other things that happen, and it just kind of comes into play. And sometimes, but it wasn't from a lack of trying. They knew they needed a better backup quarterback. They tried to get one. They really did. So, it just didn't work out. Levis is a horrible QB. The guy thinks he's Brett Favre. I still can't believe we lost to his sorry ass last year. Well, that's because the old man didn't blitz him. If the old man blitzes him, then it's a different ballgame. When is Chubb coming back? No word yet. You'll get Tua back after the 4 weeks. You'll get Cam Smith back now after this week. You'll start to get some guys back, which is pretty cool. So Tua, we're still a couple weeks away from him getting back, but at least Cam will be back, and that should help out the secondary more too. Let's see. Big O, 25 years, 1,000 different QBs is the problem. I can't take it anymore. Paul in Connecticut. No, I get you, man. Dude, we're all in the same boat. We're all hurting. It is what it is, dude. Big O ain't winning the Voice anytime soon. No. I'm not trying to win the Voice. I'm not trying to win the Voice, sir. 250 in the chat, only 144 likes. Jay is not happy with that. That's right, Jay. You tell him. Come on, folks. Hit that like button. You guys could easily get us over 250. Get that algorithm going, baby. That's a great way to, if you can't visit our amazing sponsors, and by the way, with Hurricane Helena, you got Welton Rayom. Please save this number, 954-966-4646. I hope you don't need it. Okay, I hope you don't have the water damage or any kind of storm damage. But for those of you anywhere in the state, you call Welton Rayom, man. Okay, one of our listeners in Orlando hired Welton Rayom, and they got themselves a nice big fat check. 954-966-4646. If you're dealing with bankruptcy, condo damage, homeowner property damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Call my guys, Welton Rayom, Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom. The consultation's completely free. And if you happen to have any water damage or storm damage, roof damage starts at 40 miles an hour. You're going to be facing that right away. So if you have any kind of damage, you call them, they send their adjusters over, they assess, and maybe they could get you that new roof because of what happened with this storm or a prior storm or leaks that you have. Have Welton Rayom take a look at it, man. Wind damage to your roof starts at 40 miles an hour. Did you know that? Yeah. So let's go. Call. Protect yourselves. The laws now that DeSantis, he has put it in the advantage of the insurance company. So the only way we could fight is by having the best lawyers possible. And Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom are the best. 954-966-4646. Okay. The FO doesn't go after quality guards, not in free agency or in the draft. No, well, that's not true. They did. Okay. The problem is the coaches don't want it. So then the front office is going by that. Now that if you want to blame the front office for that, you can go ahead. But I'm sure they would like to keep Robert Hunt, but they felt like, no, we can do without him. What can I tell you? These guys have this thing that they can coach anybody up. Now let's see what happens. Let's give it some time. Right now it looks like a disaster, but hopefully they can get Tua back. I just want them to win one or two is so much for this guy, for Mike McDaniel. It's hard to expect Tua. Brian says, bought my tickets to Monday night when they went on sale. Now I get to travel from California to watch the Fins flop. Fan for 53 years and counting. But at least you do come to South Florida. You know what I mean? So it's not so bad. Well, although you're in California, California's good weather most of the time. So you're pretty good there. Let me do a little music here, folks. Why not? Let's get, by the way, birthdays. Make sure I mention this. But Bob McAdoo from the Miami Heat is celebrating a birthday today. So I want to make sure I don't forget that because I made a note because it wasn't in the list that I normally use. So I want to make sure I made a little side note there to make sure. Let's start off with musicians like we always do on birthdays today. Childish Gambino. The actor, musician, and DJ, Donald Glover, born on this date in 1983. Also celebrating a birthday today, Will Smith, actor, singer, and of course with DJ Jazzy Jeff and the French Prince. Will Smith celebrating a birthday, born in 1968. Steve Severin, bassist for Susie and the Banshees. Born on this date in 1955. Zucchero, Italian singer. Born in 1955. Sung with Paul Young in a duet. Without a Woman. Okay, did not know that. But I'll do it because Paul Young, what the hell? The only time I saw Paul Young, he no longer had a voice. Sucked. Anyway, let's see who else. Celebrating birthdays. Oh, yes. Jerry Penrod, bassist for Iron Butterfly, born in 1946. Ani McIntyre from the Scottish funk R&B group Average White Band, born in 1945. Gary Alexander, guitarist and vocalist for The Association, born in 1943 on this date. And those are your musicians born on this date. Let's go with regular birthdays, like Bob McAdoo. Let's see. Chauncey Billups is 48. T.I., rapper, 44. Wasn't on the other list. Let's see who else celebrating birthdays today. Mark Hamill. Luke, I am your father. Luke Skywalker is 73 years old. The late Christopher Reeves was born in this state in 52. We lost him in 2004. It's you like life changes like for any of us it could happen, dude. To think of Christopher Reeves, how he was vibrant, full of life, big, strong dude, and then he has that accident on a horse and he ends up paralyzed for the remainder of his life and then passes away at an early age. Just, man, dude, like, so sad how, and this could happen to any of us, man. Catherine Zeta-Jones, the beautiful one, she is 55 years old. Still remember that scene with her as a thief, and she's going in and out of those lasers, and she's got the tights on, and whoo! Scottie Pippen, he's 59. How about Scottie Pippen? He's a big Bitcoin bull now, not a Chicago bull, a Bitcoin bull now. Man, Hal Sparks, TV host, 55. He's a funny dude. Michael Douglas, movie actor, is 80 years old. A lot of people on this list today celebrating birthdays, man. And I think that is it. Oh, Cade Cunningham, basketball player. He is 23 years old. Those are the famous people and musicians. Sean, do we have wrestlers celebrating any birthdays today?
We do. Viano 2 was born on this date in 1949. He passed away in 1989. And gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, also known as Jimmy Jam Garvin, with the Freebirds, was born on this date in 1952. And for those wondering, the Mr. McMahon documentary is out on Netflix. I'll be tuning into it as soon as the show ends.
Okay. All right.
Those are your birthdays, September 25th, 2024.
Maybe I'll watch it this weekend. I'll wait to hear from you if it's worth watching. All right, let's go back to music history because we always love talking a little bit about music history. Today, on September 25th, John Bonham, drummer for Led Zeppelin, choked to death on his own vomit after drinking 40 shots of vodka. He was 32. In 72, Black Sabbath released their fourth album, Black Sabbath Volume 4. In 76, Wings played a charity concert at Venice State Marks Square to raise funds for the historic area. And while the night was a success, the weight of the equipment they used caused more damage to the square. In 76, Boston's self-titled debut album entered the charts. It would go on to become the fastest-selling debut album in chart history. In 82, Queen performed on Saturday Night Live. In 90, Dave Grohl on Washington, D.C.'s band Scream joined Nirvana. And that's what happened today in music history. All right. Did you see what's going on in UNLV there, Sean? Is that a crazy story or what? So the quarterback, Matthew Sluka, a transfer who has led the Rebels to a 3-0 start, announced on social media last night that he will not play in any more games this season, alluding to an unkept agreement struck during his recruitment to the school. NCAA redshirt rules allow players to retain a year of eligibility if they play in 4 or fewer games in a season. Sluka, who played 4 seasons from 20 to 23 at Holy Cross before transferring to UNLV this past offseason, still has 1 more year left of eligibility that he could use to go to another school next season. NCAA rules do not allow players to play for 2 schools within the same season. Sluka did not detail the reasons behind his decision, but college athletes are now routinely being paid for their name, image, and likeness by companies or third-party organizations called collectives, which serve as a particular school's athletes. I committed to UNLV based on a certain representations that were made to me, which were not upheld after I enrolled. Despite discussions, it became clear that these commitments would not be fulfilled in the future. I wish my teammates the best of luck this season and hope for their continued success for the program. The senior has completed 21 of 48 passes, 318 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 INT for the Rebels this year. He's also rushed 39 times for 286 yards and a touchdown. In a 23-20 win over Kansas on the 13th, Sluka led the Rebels on an 18-play, 75-yard drive that ended with Kylan James scoring on a 4th and goal from the 1-yard line with 1:51 left. Sluka rushed for 113 yards in the game. The Rebels also began the season with a victory against Houston, making them 2-0 in the Big 12 and raising hopes that they could contend for a spot in the newly expanded 12-team college football playoff. They, by the way, will host Fresno State, who's 3-1 on Saturday. Just because you agreed to pay the kid, he comes to your school, and now you don't want to pay him. Bro, UNLV now, I don't know if you guys know this, but, UNLV out there, you stupid mofos, this will do more damage than you not paying him. Other players and agents are going to say that, and they're going to go, no, we're not going there. And they're all going to now demand the money up front. Oh, well, we don't know if you'll stay. Well, we don't know if you'll pay. How do you do that to a kid? You have him transfer. Plus, he's playing outstanding. He's one of the reasons why you're undefeated. And you don't want to pay him? That's some dirty shit that UNLV is pulling off. And then it's going to really explode in your face. You don't pay the quarterback? Wow. That's crazy, dude. By the way, after a coaching change at Holy Cross, Bob Chesney left to take over James Madison. Sluka moved on. He left as one of the best players in the history of the program. He's first in career pass efficiency at 147.4, second in career rushing at 3,583, second in career rushing touchdowns, 38, fifth in career passing yards, 5,916, and fifth in career passing touchdowns at 59. So this kid's a good player. I feel for him, man. That's just not right. It's really not right. Anyway, so just crazy stuff. All right, Pat in Nashville says, can you even imagine how Darth Vader felt after telling Luke that he was his father? Luke screams and jumps off the platform. Yeah, I can imagine. It's like P. Diddy telling you, I'm your father. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's kind of the same thing. Big O, we ever going to see Tua with the head coach that doesn't hinder him? Yeah, Alabama. Big O, hear me out. How do you feel about hiring Bill Belichick? I don't. I'm not doing that stupid shit. Scottie Pippen was sitting right next to me at the table next to us at Cafe Moderanos in Fort Lauderdale. Great guy. Did he pay his bill? Did he tip? I don't know. 40 shots of any hard shot. No, 40 shots of any hard shots is probably deadly. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I would think so. Big O, little music trivia. What two famous rock stars in the same famous rock band inspired the name of the band Led Zeppelin? Oh, man. I think I've heard that one before, too. Fitz from Naples, the GM is the issue with the Dolphins. Well, I know a lot of you are thinking that. So, I can't argue with you guys until they either get out of this hole or it gets worse, and then it becomes a real problem. But we'll see. We'll see what happens now. We'll see what happens. But I know many of you have been down on Chris Greer for a while now. So this is nothing new. I've been dealing with this from forever. It's just part of the game, unfortunately. And I get it. The way things look right now, blaming the GM is par for the course, as they say. So we will see what happens. EJ Barro says, my name is Sluka. I'm being shown the door. Oh, my name is Sluka. I live on the second floor. Yeah. Or my name is Sluka. They're dumping me like some whore. Or my name is Sluka. Pay me like a whore. Right? I mean, he's providing a service. You're supposed to pay him for that service. When you hire the lady of the night, you pay her for a service that she provides. So my name is Sluka. Pay me just like a whore. That's it. I mean, it's kind of what it is, isn't it? Look, let's play that game. You guys, you got to super chat it in. You super chat in the song, and then I twist it around however the hell I want it. And that's it. We can do that. Or we can break down ass crack like we did in the post-game show. Does anybody break down ass crack better than we do? If you missed it, you should go catch the Furones interview. We break down ass crack like no one breaks down ass crack. Should have drafted Hendon Hooker or Jordan Travis for a backup QB. A rookie QB in this moment is not what you want. It would be a disaster for a rookie QB. You would probably need more of a veteran. It's kind of been around, you know what I'm saying? But it's tough, man, for a rookie to throw him into this situation. John Entwistle and Keith Moon of the famous rock band The Who. Aha. There you go. Thank you, sir. I remember that story. Let's see. My name is Sluka. I pay for putas. Oh, okay. But he's more like the puta that they're not paying for. So, in other words, UNLV is Warren Sapping Sluka. That's what's happening. Sapp's been known to, not pay the ladies of the night, and then he has issues. They provide a service. He doesn't provide payment. Kind of like no tip and Pippin. Same thing. Cam Cameron never made the playoffs twice here. Cam Cameron never won a second game. What are you talking about? He was here for 1 year. He didn't even win a second game, dude. Honestly, McDaniel might be worse than because Cam Cameron had Cleo Lemon as a quarterback. I was thinking of that Susanna Vega song when he said that too. Andy Dalton would have been the perfect backup, even if they had to overpay a little. Big O, you always crack me up with the singing. Good stuff, bro. Well, we try. We got to have a little fun with it. You know what I'm saying? If we don't have fun and we just take all this seriously, bro, we'll drive ourselves crazy because the Dolphins do a great job of driving our asses crazy. You know what I'm saying? That is, it's just twisted. It just is. What else do I have here in my notes that I wanted to talk about? By the way, yesterday they questioned Mike McDaniel about play calling. And he basically told them that, if I thought there was somebody better, I would do it. And all of you out there have to understand what's going on here. Okay, folks? It's McDaniel, Tua, or bust. As much as I like Greer, McKenzie, and Allen, And I like this roster overall. I think with a better coach. But if the coach fails, it fails everything. It's going to be a domino effect that's going to affect everything. So those of you that hate Greer or whatever, you'll get your wish. If you dislike McDaniel, you'll get your wish. If you dislike Tua, you'll probably get your wish. I don't know. But in the end, McDaniel is going to go down, in flames, dude. Or he's going to celebrate with champagne and confetti. He will call the plays. He will run the offense. No one is going to step in and call plays. Why? Because he was never even an offensive coordinator. This is what he wants to do. He doesn't just want to be a head coach. He wants to be the play designer that leads the team to victories. He wants to be the guy that leads players to success. Whether he can do that or not, that's a whole different conversation. But what we have to compartmentalize already and just kind of get it out of your mind already. Okay, the media did what they were supposed to do. They had to ask that question. They did the responsible thing yesterday. You got to ask it. But it's over. You got to stop already. It's been asked a couple of times. It's been brought up. He's never giving up play calling. Never giving up play calling. If he wins a title or two, then maybe he can okay, well, I can coast now because I've proven it. But he hasn't proven it. And quite frankly, I wouldn't trust him to be a head coach if he can't be a great coordinator. I need you first to be a great position coach, to then be a great coordinator, to then be a great head coach. If I can't see you managing an entire section of a team, I can't imagine how you would manage an entire team. So, and as you can tell, so far, it's been a piss poor job. And he's constantly unprepared. It doesn't matter what year it is. But he's never giving up play calling duties. Ever. When he does, he will be out of a job. Okay? Unless he either is out of a job or he's already won a title or two, and then he can do it. Outside of that, he'll never do it. He'll never give it up because it will be a failure. He will be a failure in his own eyes, in his own mind, and his own self. He will be a failure if he does not have success as an offensive coordinator. Those are the facts. And by the way, again, I don't want you as a head coach if you can't run an offense. If you can't run a defense, I don't want you as a head coach because I know then you won't be a good one. You won't. Look at John Harbaugh. He was a special teams coach, and they hired him, but at least he was a good special teams coach. D Wolverines, thank you for the love in the super chat. A lot of people are saying draft this quarterback, go get that quarterback, when in reality, no QB can be successful with this O-line. It's not a QB issue. I think you can be successful with the O-line. It's not a great O-line because he was successful last year, but you got to know how to play. And that's why you need Tua, because none of the other guys can do this. Do I want a better line? Yeah. But I think you can succeed with these guys because they did last year, bro. They succeeded. He passed for like 4,600 yards. He was in the MVP race. They had a running back that scored 20 touchdowns. Both running backs averaged, over 5 yards a carry? So you can survive with this O-line. Is it a great O-line? No, but you can. As long as you have a quarterback like Tua, I think you can survive. That's the way I look at it. But that's just me. What else do we have going on? By the way, Alethea Liquid Intelligence has also been up a lot, up almost 12%. It's another one we told you about. Another long play that we told you guys about a while back. Let's see. Big O, you haven't figured it out. McDaniel wants to get all the credit for his play calling and the great offense. That's more important to him than winning. It is. It is. But like I said, he won't give it up because he'll be a failure in his own eyes if he can't do that. And technically he is. He's right about that. So he'll never give it up. Jay Ospina says, I think you're wrong about McDaniels, Big O. The players are bought into a system and they've been successful. We just lost our franchise QB, so we're struggling. That's all. So it's productive to put Robbie Chosen in a position to run a route that he didn't run right. And that's responsible for Tua, is what you're saying, Ospina. So it's responsible to put the other guy from Green Bay that we got here. What's his name? I even forgot his name now. That's responsible. So it's responsible when he quits on the run and they're running the ball. Well, that's good for your quarterback? Didn't know that. So Gesicki can be used in Cincinnati, but they can't use him here? That's good for your quarterback? Okay. All right. If you think McDaniel is, you go ahead, my brother. I mean, if you can't win a challenge, is that good for your quarterback, your running back, your offensive line? Just wondering. So if you don't know when to stay with the run, you don't know what players to, you Durham Smythe out in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown. That's the guy you're going to count on? That's productive for any quarterback? Okay. All right, Ospina. I mean, if you think that he does all the right things for his offense and puts them in positions to be successful, okay. You go ahead. Skylar Thompson, did he do a justice to his offense, preparing him for 2 years plus for that moment? How was Skylar Thompson? Was he prepared for that moment? I'm just wondering. Because, McDaniel's so great, as you say, right? He really can foresee that that Thompson had the talent, and then he knew that he could prepare Thompson for the moment. But, Okay. All right, Jay Ospina. If you think McDaniel is good for the people on the offense and for his team overall, and maybe at the beginning of the game you thought he should have gone for that field goal, right? The 56-yarder, instead of maybe, try to run the ball. Okay. It's all right. Jay Ospina. It's good, bro. It's understandable. You think he doesn't hurt his team at all. Okay. All right. No problem. If you can't get plays in on time, but Jay Ospina doesn't think that hurts any quarterback. Not Tannehill Thompson, not Tua. It won't hurt Snoop or Tim Boyle to get the play in late on time. No. Jay Ospina says none of that hurts his players. Nope. Not according to Jay Ospina. No. He said it right there. What was it? He said, I think you're wrong, Big O. The players are bought into the system and they've been successful. We just lost our franchise QB, so we're struggling. That's all it is. That's all it is. There's nothing else to do with it. Nothing. So, just make sure. Listen to Jay Ospina. He knows exactly what's wrong. Let's see. Can't wait for the next QB we pick up from Home Depot. Hey. Viper, cut the shit, okay? We get them at Lowe's. Arthur Blank doesn't allow us to shop from his stores. You should know that. We go low. Tua was also horrible his first 2 years. We forgot about that. He had 36 games under center and looked horrible. We wanted anybody, but we gave Skylar one opportunity. Pretty boy, you obviously didn't listen to this show. Tua was 7-3 his first year, my brother. He didn't look horrible. He was fine. It was just the situation around him. But pretty boy, those that don't know football were blaming Tua the first 2 years. instead of looking at the fact that Flo had 3 different offensive line coaches, 5 different offensive coordinators. How 1 year he had 2 offensive coordinators. He had a quarterbacks coach from high school 7-on-7s. But hey, bro, you go ahead and say that Tua played bad. You know what I'm saying? So, the guy goes 7-3 his first year with a head coach that hates him, can't stand him, started him against the Rams so he can set him up for failure. And we still have the idiots that say Tua played horrible. You know what I'm saying? No, we didn't forget about it. What we do is we try to forget about people like you, pretty boy, that don't know shit about football. That don't understand that Tua actually played exceptional his first 2 years under the conditions that he was put in. He played exceptional. Plus, he also excels here under McDaniel, knowing how incompetent McDaniel is. That's how good Tua is, that he overcomes the incompetence. He would be even better if he actually had, Andy Reid and stuff like that. But I don't expect people like Pretty Boy to really understand that because they really don't get football. So, yeah. So that's what it is. Larry says, Tua never looked horrible, always had pocket presence, always got the ball out quick. Yeah, he did whatever he could under the conditions he had. Again, 7-3 his first year. That was his record his rookie year. 7-3 with no talent, no offensive line, no offensive coordinators, no QB coach, nothing. Nothing. Okay? Nothing. Everything was even made for Fitzpatrick, not even for him. Nothing. And he went 7-3. Flo had a losing record with all the other quarterbacks, winning record with Tua. So, shows you how stupid Flo was, and people like Pretty Boy who don't know shit about football. Anyway, Tua is the best thing we've had in a long time, and people still hating. That's because a lot of fans don't know football and don't really understand the game. They're just fans. And they get emotional, and then they repeat a lot of the other shit that some of the media also doesn't know. So that's kind of what ends up happening. Big O, let's give all these people blind-ass fan alerts. Go ahead, Sean. Give them a blind-ass fan alert.
Blind-ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind-ass fan coming through.
Damn, in the break, I got up and I guess I took the bottle with me. And I left it. Luckily, I have a second bottle here. Went to the store. They ran out of the bigger bottles. Look at this. I had to get 2 small ones to put me off. Terrible. When the hell is Fiji going to be a sponsor of my show? No? I don't think there's anybody more loyal to Fiji than me. Jesus. Just like I'm loyal to Sloman's Home Shield, baby. Yes, sir. Alarmo can protect your home, protects Sean, protects mine. And right now, Sloman's Home Security, they are offering a free home security system with free professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. The free system includes the panel, the keyboard, up to 10 door contacts, window decals, lawn sign, professional installation, lifetime service, communication device, and backup battery. And the luxury of having a Sloman's Home Shield, you get an alert on your phone, any motion around your home, in or outside. Your option if you want to put cameras inside. I have them inside and outside. Like Sean only has them outside. I have them inside because I have 4 dogs. So I kind of like to keep an eye on my dogs just in case and make sure everything's all right. It's just one of those things. They're kind of like our kids. So we kind of, look after them and stuff like that. So home security, when it comes to Sloman's, they offer custom top-of-the-line home security systems that are designed to detect intruders, alert the authorities, and give you real-time updates right up to your smartphone. And with their state-of-the-art central station monitoring, you will get 24/7 protection. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. We're in 14 different states, so they could be in your town. 1-800-ALARM-ME. All right. Fiji water bottled in Flint, Michigan. That would be good. That would have a lot of minerals. Let's see. My stepson went to Holy Cross with Sluka. I watched him for 4 years. Great player in FCS. And so happy he got a shot at UNLV until the assholes shafted him. I mean, it's just terrible. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I've been a Dolphin fan since 71, and Tua is the second best quarterback the Dolphins have had, only second to the great Dan Marino. He's a hell of a passer, man. You know, he's just got to figure shit out on his own there. So, you know, that's the problem, unfortunately. He's got to stop making the stupid decisions. Big O, they don't know what a good football coach looks like. Only basketball with Riley than Spo. Yeah, Spo is Marino, bro. I mean, Shula. Spo is Shula. That's the reincarnation of Shula. Eric Spoelstra. Love that guy. Man, I have so much respect for Spo. That's I never, once you saw Shula, it was one of those things like, okay, it's going to be hard to ever get another one like that. And we ended up getting one in basketball. That's how awesome that guy is. It's not Riley. Riley doesn't even come close to Shula. Spo is the Shula clone, dude. The only guy that does it with any kind of team. He adjusts to everything. Riley always had one kind of team. He always had the big center and liked to play the in and out. That's why he tied the team down to Whiteside. And that's not what Spo wanted. That's why Spo didn't get along with Whiteside, because he knew that he couldn't do what he needed to do. But Spo can adjust to any kind of team, dude. He is so Don Shula. Yeah. And the guy we have now coaching the Dolphins doesn't even come close to any of those kind of guys. As I've told you before, I am so grateful for Spo, because I had to be the old man using the Shula example all the time. And now I have Spo. And so young people can't relate to Shula because they didn't watch him coach the 70s teams and then Woodstock and Marino and coach different kinds of teams and success with all of them, like we've seen with Spo. But young people have watched Spo with the scrubs go 31-10, win with these Butler teams, win with the superstar teams. He wins with all kinds of teams because he's a great coach, period. And he adjusts, like when he had the blood clot years with Bosch in and out of the lineup. He had to change the offense like 3 times in one season. Who does that shit? Shula. Shula's the only one that does that. Shula's the only one that can run a Strzok offense and a Woodley offense. Which, by the way, you wonder, will you run a little Snoop and a little Tim Boyle? That's a lesser man, Strzok and Woodley, but you know what I'm saying. But see, I can't trust him to do that. I can trust Spo and I can trust Shula to do that. That's the difference. Sucks, man. Sucks. Greasy, extremely smart, and was a very good QB, especially in Shula's offense. Yeah, because he was smart, accurate. That's it. If you're smart and accurate, you have a great chance. As long as you have a decent arm, which he had a decent arm, as long as your arm is good enough for the game, if you're smart and accurate, you could be a great quarterback for a long time. And that's really what you need. Spo is a chameleon. Us Heat fans should be very grateful, extremely. Snoop Boy is the new Woodstock. Yeah, no, he's not. No, it would be not Woodstock. It would be Tim Snoop, Snoop Tim. How would we call it? Because it was Woodstock, right? So, Tim Hunt. It's the Tim Hunt offense. Woodstock, Tim Hunt. You got a better one than Tim Hunt? Snoop Boyle? Snoop Boyle actually sounds cool. So it's Tim Hunt or Snoop Boyle offense. I like the Snoop Boyle offense. Actually, Snoop Boyle. That's not bad. Woodstock, Snoop Boyle. Yeah, I'm going with Snoop Boyle. Yeah, Snoop Boyle. Let's see. Big ol' Brett Favre was in Congress testifying yesterday about concussions and his new documentary, and he attributed his new diagnosed Parkinson's disease to concussions. Tua should learn from this. Yeah. Yeah, I heard about the Parkinson's. What a shame. I'm torn. Like, obviously the Parkinson's is terrible, but then he has all that other stuff that he did, and that he shouldn't have been taking public funds and all that kind of stuff. And so it's hard, it's like, I don't wish that on anybody, you know what I'm saying? And I feel bad that he has that. Didn't Snoop throw a TD pass against our awesome defense last year? I don't know if he did or not. I don't really care. Funny thing is, Tua won that game against the Rams. It was a total team effort, but Tua got the win despite Flores trying to sabotage him. I know. And boy, he really tried to sabotage his ass right from the get-go. Who starts that guy? Who starts a rookie against the Rams, dude, with that offensive line? Only a head coach that hates the quarterback so badly and wants him to fail so badly that he does that. How disgusting is that? By the way, have you visited Caneswear? The Canes are red hot. They're 4-0. You can get anything and everything practically with the Canes logo on it. So get ready. Friday night's the game. Get on out there to Caneswear. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. They've also got Miami Heat gear. They've got Florida Panthers gear, championship gear too. They've got Dolphins gear. They've got Inter Miami stuff, flags, kits, jerseys, messy shirts, messy jerseys, all of that. They even have Miami Marlins stuff, believe it or not, if you're interested in the crappy ass Marlins. So you can sport that too there. I mean, they've got all the local sports. When it comes to Miami fan wear, that's where Caneswear is at, man. So get on down there. 2655 South University Drive in Davie. And it's right next to La Spada. Ooh, I could use a La Spada sub right now, man. Man, I could use that La Spada sub. Caneswear.com. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Alex Giorlando. Thank you. That's an interesting name, Giorlando. It's like a G-I and Orlando. Giorlando. Alex Giorlando. It's pretty cool, man. Says, for Big O, love your show, brother. Thank you, man. That is very nice of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Appreciate you all out there as always, man, for donating, hitting the like button, visiting our amazing sponsors. All of that is incredibly important, and that's the reason why you guys keep us afloat, as they say. Big O, if Snoop is a decent game manager, we should be okay considering our talent. We just need Iceberg and company to block. I agree, my friend. I just worry for Snoop and for Tim Boyle, the head coach. That's why I guarantee you'll get me to rip Thompson because Skyler's here, going into year 3. On his own, he just looked terrible. And I know his coach didn't help him. But these two guys just got here. So I'm warning you ahead of time. If somehow or another those two guys play bad, I'm not picking on them at all. I will be picking on Mike McDaniel. And if they play well, I'll be giving them credit and barely anything to Mike McDaniel. I can already tell you that. Because if they succeed, it'll be in spite of McDaniel, I guarantee you. It'll be because Snoop did some kind of crazy-ass run that, got him some yards and made a play or something along those lines. Or Tim Boyle threaded it between two guys and got it to Jonnu Smith like he did that one throw. I'm just telling you. But I am not. Those young men are at a disadvantage right now. They are. Only because of the head coach. I got to be brutally honest on that. It's hard to wear any Dolphin gear after the embarrassing losses and still the ones to come. You know what, Omar? It's been going on for 25 years. Doesn't affect me anymore, bro. I'll wear my Dolphin gear no matter what, if I have to wear it, or if I wear a hat or wear a shirt. It doesn't matter to me. The Dolphins are what they are, dude. I mean, shit, I have a Marlins hat here that I can wear. Nothing worse than the Marlins. So, yeah, nah. My team is my team, bro. They are what they are. I can't do anything about it. You know what I mean? I'm always going to love them. I'm always going to follow them. I'm always going to, talk about them, root for them. And, yeah, for the last 30-something years, they've been torturing my ass after giving me a lot of pleasure for the first 25. So, yeah, I got to take the bad with the good. What am I going to do? Big O. La Spada subs are the best. When I go visit my parents down in Sunrise from the PSL, I make sure to stop by and get a sub. Damn right. We need a QB that can take a hit and not be out for 4 weeks. There aren't a lot of those. QBs are getting injured all over the place. You notice the guy in Cincinnati has a problem staying healthy? It happens, man. There's QB injuries everywhere. After watching some film again, Skyler missed so many. Oh, yeah, no, Skyler was an embarrassment. Skyler deserves to be cut. So either you put him on the IR and give him an easy cut so he stays on the IR and at the end of the year you release him, or you just cut his ass when Tua gets back. But Skyler is not worth a roster spot ever again. Just be honest. Let's see. Omar, that's the past 30 years, bro. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Let's see. Yes, it always will be my team. I just feel that after these 2 seasons, I thought we were on our way. So did I, man. So did I. And maybe they can get back on track. Who knows, man? Would be nice. I know that the season looks really, really bad right now. Let's see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what happens, because it's a scary situation. I get it. It's hard to feel confident about what's going on right now with the Miami Dolphins. It's impossible to feel confident about what's going on with the Miami Dolphins. That's really the issue. We would be 2-1 with Tua there, no doubt. No way he misses those. Oh no, yeah. So you win against the Seahawks. Yeah. The other thing is I expect the defense to continue to improve. That's one of the things that I know that some of you out there have some issues with, watching the defense. And if you watching game 3, there were improvements. And as I explained earlier on the show, the continuity will bring that together, especially for the secondary. So that'll help out. And you'll see less mistakes from all those guys. I expect that. We'll see. Cut Skyler, totally agree. No pocket presence. Well, he's Tannehill Thompson. Bernard says, how much faith do you have in McDaniel to actually put a good scheme together? Well, have you been listening to the show? It's been part of you may want to rewind, my brother. We talked about it plenty. All right, we are out of here. We thank all of you out there, as always, for supporting the hell out of our show. Hit the like button before you go, please. Visit our sponsors like Hialeah Park. We'll be there tomorrow afternoon. And I'll be fresh because I'll be able to sleep in. It won't be a trip to Tampa today, St. Pete. My concert was canceled. So depressed about it. But it's the best thing. It wasn't going to be a safe drive, especially on the way back. On Wednesday night, we were probably going to face a lot of weather. So it wasn't going to be good. So sadly, we missed the trip. And I would have hung out with Ocala Joe and his lovely wife. They were going to meet us there, so that was going to be cool. But anyway, so appreciate you all out there. Thank you for supporting us. However it is, visit our amazing sponsors, Toyota of Hollywood, Acura of Pembroke Pines, Cutter's Edge Pro. We got some great sponsors. Please visit our sponsors. Tell them that Big O sent you. That's the way. It helps big time. Hit the like button. It helps big time. Make donations. It helps big time. Visit our merchandise shop. It helps big time. Many ways to keep us afloat so we can keep giving you the information on all the local teams. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Same time, same place, same bat channel.